for others who are not joining us. Okay, karibuni sana wote from close and afar. We have wageni from different states, California, Arizona, Connecticut, Illinois, Ohio. We also have people from Australia and also from Tanzania. My name is Tina Laswai, and I'm the current president of Diaspora. We're very happy to have all of you here, kuchukua muda wenu, kuwepo na sisi. Pamoja na sisi tuna wageni wetu rasmi wanaotoka kwenye technology companies. One, yani tunawajua ni kaka Benjamin Fernandez, or Still Eating, or Benji, all those names. Or what's the other one? 1% Built, all of those. From Nala, tunawasiliana naye all the time, na kaka Ahmad, karibuni sana mtujuze kuhusiana na Nala. Pia tupo na team ya Vodacom. Niseme team because there's several of them here. Tunafurahi sana kuungana na nyie. We use your services all the time tukiland, and we are looking forward to even have more linkages with you, mtusaidie kusolve matatizo yetu na kuleverage opportunities zilizopo na technology. Tuko na kaka Epimac Beteni, who's the director for M-Commerce for Vodacom. So kama mtakuwa mna issue yoyote ya M-Pesa, you know who to ask now, because he's the M-Pesa person and more. And as he will explain, we also have Brigida Shirima, who's also head of M-Pesa here, and Ruth Moshi, as well as Josephine. I think those Josephine Mushi as well, also from Vodacom. Karibuni sana. We have many people mtaona kwenye list from different states. Kwa hiyo tutaanza, lakini kabla hatujaanza session zetu, I'll be amiss if I did not mention kuhusu our upcoming convention that is coming up in September, end of September. Hopefully you have heard of it already. This is our 8th convention. Some of you have attended previous Diaspora conventions. This is one of them. We haven't had one for the last 6 years because of COVID and other things. So we're very happy to be back, and also be back with a bang, because we also have our first exclusive Tanzanian expo, tourism expo in the USA, to make sure that tuna even elevate further our tourism industry, which is going really well right now. It's doing really well in all the rankings that are out there at the global level, but there's still more work that needs to be done. So without further ado, I should also introduce Benjamin mwingine ambayo tutamuita Benja Frederick, who is my right hand, is our secretary at Diaspora, and will also be monitoring the Q&A session going forward. As you continue, process yetu ni kwamba unaandika maswali kwenye chat box as you come. Tuta address maswali mwisho. Kwa hiyo naomba kama una swali liandike mwishoni, aliandike kwenye chat box. Kaka Benjamin atakuwa anayaangalia hayo maswali na kuwauliza speakers wetu accordingly. So without further ado, naomba nimkaribishe Benji, I think ndo anaanza, wa Nala, atueleze kidogo kuhusu Nala, alafu atafuata kaka Epimac kutueleza kuhusu huduma za Vodacom hususan kwa diaspora. Aya, kaka Nala, kaka Benji, karibu.
Asante, samani sijavaa suit kama kaka Epimac. Sisi kazi zetu kuvaa suit ni tukiitwa ofisini za Vodacom tu ndo tunavaa suit. It's good to be here. Thank you so much for organizing Shikamoni, for all of those older than me, and a lot of respect to you. My name is Benjamin, ni mwanzilishi wa kampuni wa Nala. It's great to be here. I'm also, as mentioned, would like to appreciate Dakota for pulling the community together. Unajua to bring the community together is not easy, especially the Tanzanian community from many different countries and places around the world. It's nice to see familiar names and familiar faces pia. I would like to introduce quickly on the Nala team tuna Shamte Daudi ambaye yuko is anatokea Tanzania. He oversees a lot of the work that we do in Tanzania with all of our partners. And then tuna Hamad Kasoga, who is based in California, in San Francisco, ambaye anatusaidia ku help push and drive the Tanzanian community in the United States, as well as in other markets around the world. I would like to also acknowledge people like Hassan Ganzo, who has helped us a lot as Nala, and especially in Europe and the UK, as we've been growing out there as well, but also being a strong leader and bringing the community together. And then the team from Vodacom. Obviously, we work directly with Vodacom. So Epimac, Ruth, Salome, and the entire Vodacom team. The Nala team appreciates all the efforts that you guys do to enable us to be able to use Nala directly. Cool. So I will start sharing a presentation and quickly update here. I didn't want to make it boring. I want to make it quick and easy. And more talking about the journey and by like kujenga kampuni and some of the challenges we faced. Obviously, we face a lot of challenges building a company, and especially building a company from Tanzania to the US, to the UK, to Europe. Has a lot of challenges, and it's not easy. Sio kazi rahisi. So let me give a quick background. I grew up in Dar es Salaam, so Dar es Salaam nilikuwa nyumbani. Mzee wangu anatokea Tanga. So kama kuna watu wa Tanga kwenye this chat, Tanga oe. And yeah, so just really quickly, can you guys see my screen? To say Nala, right?
Yes.
Oh, great. Let me just try to refresh. Okay, cool. All right, great. So background, I grew up in Dar, and I had bad grades. I used to be a bad student, and most people don't know this. I used to get in a lot of trouble in school. Actually, in the school, I'm going to show you my report card over here. What most people don't know, but I actually used to get in a lot of trouble. I used to get suspended in school when I was in Dar. I was a naughty kid, nataka kucheza mpira, nataka kucheza kwa Manchester United, lakini naona ile career ilipitia kidogo, lakini na timu yangu imepitia kidogo kwa sababu Manchester United have not been doing well the last 10 years, lakini ile ni jambo lingine. So I'm actually showing you my grades here. So I actually took 4 classes. I took geography, physics, business, and math. And you can see here, my grades were C, U, E, U. You might ask, what is a U? U means it's so low below F. It's called ungraded in the British syllabus. And nikaambiwa to repeat 11th and 12th grade in Tanzania. And obviously it was not an easy thing to try to do, but it was also embarrassing for me directly, and trying to make sure we can keep things going. It was not challenging. It was not easy to be able to do. Now, from there, I didn't want to be. I was told to stay back, and I had some friends ambao walipata scholarship kwenda Marekani. So one of my friends said, okay, try, just ask these schools if they can give you a second chance, our trial period, our probation period. And in America, there's a lot of probation periods that you can do. So I was given a probation period, kuenda Marekani. I was given a scholarship for 3 months. If you do well, you stay. If you don't do well, unarudi nyumbani. So nikapewa, of course, mzee wangu was very strict. Kaniambia, wewe umepewa 3 months, mimi nakupa 1 month. Kama hujafanya vizuri, unarudi nyumbani immediately. So I think that was the challenge that I had faced, to be able to try to figure out how can I come to America for the first time. Sijawahi kuishi Marekani. So nilianza my time in America in Minneapolis. So for those of you who are in Minneapolis, that was my first home in the United States. And then, after some time, before even that, nilivyokuwa Minneapolis, after 3 months, I remember getting my grades after 3 months, kwa sababu kumbuka ilikuwa kwenye probation period, and my grades were going to determine kama naweza kubaki Marekani au kama narudi Tanzania. So nakumbuka nilivyopewa ile report card ya Marekani, nilikuwa natetemeka kidogo because I was scared kama nitarudi nyumbani or stay in America. And so nilipata grades zangu, when I looked at them, I got straight A's. And so the school said, okay, because you got straight A's, you can stay for 3 more months in the United States. So ile trial period ilikuwa 3 more months, so I could extend my stay in the US. And that's how I, stayed in. And so I was like a diaspora myself in the US. After 3 more months, nikapewa another 3 more months because I did really well academically. And then baadaye ya miaka minne nika graduate top of my class in university. So nilivyomaliza top of my class, professor yangu moja kaniita kaniambia, najua wewe, of course kasema in English, kasema taka wewe uende kwenye hizi vyuo vingine kufanya masters, uende Stanford na Harvard. Nikamwambia, unajua mimi sijawahi kukutana na mtu yote kwenye maisha yangu ambaye ameenda Stanford na Harvard. Hizo sio sehemu za mtu kama amekwenda. Amesema, lakini wewe jaribu, utaweza kuingia. And so I tried, and nikaenda nyumbani. I was working in Tanzania actually for a bit. I was actually doing some projects, funny enough, with Vodacom, and on trying to enable people to pay for TV subscription through merchant payments. So those are some of the projects I was working on in 2011, 12, 13. So I knew the old Vodacom team them back then, before I met Ruth and Salome and all of them. But when I was working in Tanzania, nikarudi nyumbani after I finished my undergrad, and then after 1 year nika apply for Stanford and Harvard. And so Stanford wanawapa scholarship to 8 African students a year based on performance, and so nikapewa hiyo scholarship. So that was the first time I moved to California. Nikasema Dar es Salaam ni kama LA flani. But yeah, that was the first time going out there, and sija kufika Bay Area kwenda shuleni. So the first time nenda shuleni nikaingia hivi na shuka ya Kimasai. Of course watu wakasema huyu ni nani? Au alikuwa naingia darasani bila viatu. Even my roommates wakawa wanasema, yo, dude, this like umezidi kidogo. So I just wanted to bring a taste of Tanzania everywhere we were going, and trying to represent Tanzania at places like this. And the last Tanzanian ambaye ameenda Stanford ilikuwa 2005, and the last Tanzanian before that was 2001. So kulikuwa wa Tanzania tatu tu in history. I was the third one who've ever been to the Stanford Business School program. Anyway, so nilivyomaliza pale nikapewa nafasi kwenda nikapewa nafasi kwenda kufanya kazi taasisi ya Bill Gates, and nilivyokuwa nafanya kazi pale, that was when I started being interested in trying to build Nala. And so what I started doing was I spent a lot of time in the field trying to understand problems. I'd go around Dar es Salaam. I'd call a lot of people ambayo ni diaspora ambao wanatuma hela nyumbani, just to understand what's the behavior like today and how people are sending money. And yeah, Hamad, just checking if the slide is updated with the rates. But anyway, so what I started to do was just seeing what we can do, and I started trying to build Nala. Of course, kulikuwa na mazungumzo mengi sana kuhusu like Nala and like how we send money home and back to Tanzania. The challenge we are facing was the following. I didn't get a chance to go to start in Tanzania. So sehemu ambayo imenipa kibali cha kwanza ilikuwa Kenya, and then the UK. So tulianza kutuma hela kutoka Uingereza. Sijawahi kuishi Uingereza. So Uingereza kwenda Kenya, and then Uingereza kwenda Uganda, Uingereza kwenda Ghana, and then Uingereza kwenda Tanzania. So 2 years ago, actually 2 years ago yesterday, tulifanya uzinduzi wa Nala in America for the first time. And today we enable people to send money from the US. Hold on, let me just share my screen. Can you guys see my? I don't know which screen you guys are seeing. 1 second. So today we enable people to send money from the US, UK, and Europe to Tanzania. And a few things just to keep in mind. Just with that, let me just see if I can share my screen again, Paule. We try to be the best rates in the market, and we also try to do other things just beyond rates for our customers. So if you are in the US, UK, and Europe, so this is the rates today from the US. If you're sending $1, you get or $1,000, you get 2.65 million, versus on Sendwave, you get 2.648, versus on World Remit, you get 2.5 million. And, we operate in the UK, EU, and US. We most of the time have the best rates to be able to send money to Tanzania. And actually, you can even compare us versus other companies in the product directly. There's a button that says compare rates, and unaweza kuangalia, okay, how is Nala doing versus other competitors. And kama kuna mtu kwenye this call ambaye hajai kutumia Nala, I would love for you to join with the code Dakota, which we'll post in the group. You'll get a small bonus if you join with the code Dakota today, and be able to sign up for Nala kama unaishi Uingereza, anywhere in Europe ambayo wanatumia euros, kama ni Germany, France, Italy, Spain. So we support 19 countries in Europe. And then in the US, anywhere in the US, unaweza kudownload, kuinstall Nala. Nimesikia kuna mtu kutoka Canada au kutoka Australia on this call. We don't support Canada or Australia yet, but we support these other markets for people to be able to send money to. A few other things that we try to do to Tanzania. Sisi ni kampuni pekee ambayo tuna support all mobile money services. We support Vodacom, Tigo, Airtel, Halotel, Zantel, na TTCL. We're the only one that supports all mobile money services out of any company that sends money to Tanzania. So sio mpaka mtu awe na namba ya, mtandao fulani. They can send to any network in Tanzania through Nala. We also support every bank in Tanzania. We're the only service that supports every bank in Tanzania. Kama ni CRDB, ni NMB, ni Equity Bank, like a small bank that you might think we don't have. We have all the microfinance banks as well. You can send directly from the US. So najua in the US, wire money with your bank account, kama unatumia Wells Fargo, ni kama $40. On Nala, I think it's $4 or $5 maximum. So it's much, much, much cheaper to send money to the bank accounts in Tanzania directly. We also have the largest limits. On Nala, you can send $5,000 a day, $5,000 kwa siku. You can, it's way better you can see it directly there. And then we also have support in Kiswahili. So one of the things that you can see directly on this is kama unaingia kwenye chat unataka kuongea na mtu Kiswahili au Kiingereza, unaweza kuongea na timu yetu. But besides Nala, one of the things ningependa kusikia kutoka Tanzania ni feedback on what we can do better, on requests. Mfano, one of the things I would love to do, one of the things that we do with in Kenya is tuna support watu kutoka Uingereza au Marekani kutuma hela directly to an M-Pesa pay bill directly, or lipa na M-Pesa number, kwa sababu watu wengi wanasema sitaki nitume hela huko kwa sababu najua ndugu yangu atanipiga. Yani ndugu anakwambia bili ya shule ni $1,000,000, lakini bili ya ada ya shule ni $800,000. Ile $200,000 anachukua pembeni. So one of the things we want to do with companies like Vodacom is enable direct bill payments and disbursements. So mtu anaweza kutuma hela directly into these accounts. Now, the last thing I'll say, and before I go into, handing over for question and answer time, is one of the challenges we face, especially right now in Tanzania, there's a big dollar shortage in Tanzania. So huge dollar shortages, and it's a massive problem. So you'll see many variations of rates on how much it is to send money to Tanzania. Now, sisi ambayo tuna leseni in Tanzania, we have a PSP license. We have to follow the rules and regulations that the central bank gives us and what rates to operate within. So that's why we have to operate within the rates that are we're allowed to operate in, as you can see here, compared to the people who are doing this formally, Sendwave and World Remit. They're all three of us are operating within the legal limits given to us by the central bank to operate in. We do have challenges because obviously I see somebody called Peter has posted about there's some apps out there which have a rate of $1 equals 2,800 shillings. That's true. There are apps that have come into the market that maybe don't do this formally or maybe don't even do this legally. And we can't do anything about that. That's under the regulators' control. We have to work with the bounds that we've been given for us directly. So I recommend you guys use whichever app you want. Obviously, I would love for you guys to use Nala, But the challenge in this market today is there's a big dollar shortage. And so, obviously with dollar shortages, it creates a black market exchange rate that becomes challenging to deal with. And obviously dollar shortages only hurt Tanzania because as a government, we borrow money in dollars and have to repay in dollars. So when there's inflation that goes on or massive currency adjustment, it only pains the government at the end of the day and hurts our local currency, but also hurts people locally in the market because inflation makes every shilling worth slightly less than it was a year ago. You've seen the dollar fluctuate, and it's a difficult time for Tanzania, and it's going to be like this for several more months. Actually, I don't see it changing anytime soon. Unfortunately, it's quite a challenge. Anyway, cha mwisho ni leo tunajiri zaidi ya watu 100 duniani. Mfano Hamad, who's on this call, ni Mtanzania. Shamte Daudi, who's on this call, ni Mtanzania. And it's not easy. Kila nchi na sheria zake zina rules and requirements zake, and obviously kama Mtanzania we're trying our best. It's definitely not easy. The thing I will say is, kwa watu wote, I would love to see more Tanzanians starting businesses. I would love to see more Tanzanians trying to build companies back home as well, or start businesses back home. We work with Tanzanians, Kenyans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Ugandans, Rwandans, Senegalese, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, very soon Egypt and South Africa, and Morocco coming up as well. But in all these markets, there's challenges. In all these markets, there's things that we have to try to build and try to do. In the US, for example, in order to go live in the US, we have to partner with banks. So we work with many banks in the US, including Evolve Bank and Trust, and we support all bank cards in the US. But the challenge is, for example, when we're trying to sign up a customer in the US, the bank requires us to validate that they are a real US citizen and have a valid last 4 digits of SSN. That is not NALA's requirement. That's the bank requirements in the US in order to operate there. So those are the things that are out of our control, but we have to just follow rules and regulations that are given to us in order to comply. But also because we have the largest limits of $5,000 a day. There's no other tech company that sends money to Tanzania that has limits of $5,000 a day. But yeah, I'll pause right there. I see there's some questions in the chat, but yeah, would love to answer some of these directly. I can answer some of them quickly. Peter, your question about some apps with 2,800 shillings, much higher. As I mentioned, there will be more apps coming like that. I can't control it. I know the Vodacom team will have to look into it if who's dispersing into their wallets formally and has a letter of no objection from the central bank, and they can check from there. But if it's way above the rates that the central bank is giving us as a regulated entity to operate in, that's challenging for us as NALA to be able to do. We would like to provide the best rates, but we are also controlled and limited by what the central bank tells us we can do. Shabira, you said you use NALA and so far so good. Asante sana. And where do you see NALA the next 5 to 10 years? So there's a few questions I have for people here on some of the things we would like to launch. Number one, what I discussed earlier, ile ya kulipia bill moja kwa moja directly. So that's one of the features that we'd like to do. Kwa hiyo kama unataka kulipa control number directly kutoka Marekani, kutoka Uingereza, kutoka Europe, moja kwa moja Tanzania. Those are some of the features we're looking to add over the next year or two. So depending on how we can do that with Vodacom and other companies, we'd like to prioritize building those features for you. Other features we'll also be building, we're going to be launching our own card in the US first. So mtu ambaye anatumia NALA, they'll be accessing a card. So they'll be able to use card transactions on NALA with better exchange rates, especially when they travel to Tanzania and so on. Because people send quite a bit of money, and we think that we can help and support reduced cost of using cards, especially internationally. Other things ambayo tunatengeneza, Marekani kuna Zelle na Cash App na Venmo. Uingereza kuna direct payments to each other. Najenga feature right now for Mtanzania ambaye anaishi Marekani na Mtanzania ambaye anaishi Uingereza to send money to each other for free on NALA. So that's one of the features we're trying to build out right now. So if any of you actually send money from Europe, US, UK to each other in these markets, please message me directly because I would like to give you early access to this feature. So please message me here in the chat and or Hamad directly because ningependa kuwapa early access to some of these features directly so you guys can give us feedback before we release it to the public. So kama wewe unaishi Marekani, Uingereza, or Europe, or Ulaya, and you're sending money to each other within Europe, US, and UK, please message me directly here on the chat. I would like to get your feedback on what we're trying to do for some of those features. And then Daniel, I see your question about investing in the stock exchange. It's challenging because one of the things we could do is when we can enable people to pay for directly through control numbers and so on, I think that would enable stock exchange investments in Tanzania. And you can have more control of your money that way. And then Tibu, I see your message about increasing limits. The challenge about limits is the following. For example, every bank in the world, if you ask to increase your limits, the bank is going to ask you, why do you need to increase your limits? And it's the same way we are regulated as NALA. So, I see your comment about this is very private information. Yeah, it's not my control. It's not my requirement. It's the bank requirement. The bank will never increase somebody's limit until they prove and justify why they should have a larger limit. Mfano, I'll give you a very specific example. Mtu anafanya kazi labda as a nurse, let's say here in London, analipwa 50,000 pounds a year. Mfano, natoa mfano tu. Lakini kila mwaka anajaribu kutuma pound 1.5 million. It doesn't make sense. Where are they getting the extra money to send back home 3 times their salary? So we have to ask for extra information to combat money laundering and things like these. These are requirements that the governments give us in the UK, US, and Europe to make sure that we're making people are not illegally sending money for fraudulent situations. It's not just NALA. Every single money remittance company has to follow these regulations. It's not just a NALA thing. Other things, the Wilson, does dollar shortage in Tanzania cause delay in payments? No, that doesn't cause delay in payments. The delay in payments actually is not from NALA. It's actually with the telecoms or the banks. So sometimes we do have challenges with telecoms, transparently. Mimi napenda kuongea ukweli. Sometimes the telecoms are down or doing maintenance, and those are the reasons why there's delay in payments. It's not NALA's fault. We disperse the money as soon as the money hits our bank account directly. And we're working with the telecoms to try to improve some of these, or the aggregators in the market. It's not an easy job that they have. They're trying their best. And we want to support the telecoms as much as possible so that the payment can be as seamless as possible. The challenge is, when somebody does have a delayed payment, they lose trust and they think it's NALA that delayed the payment, and that's difficult. We try to update people as much as possible about it. Fortunatus, managing a business in multiple countries, it's not easy. It's very, very, very tough. We try to do this responsibly, and especially mimi nabeba passport ya Tanzania, and it is not an easy passport to carry, especially everywhere we go. When I have to do police requirements, police reviews, they want to check that I'm a legal person in the country. They want to check that I'm there, I'm willing and able to build a business in that country. And so process kama Mtanzania kufungua biashara Marekani au Uingereza and to operate there ni ngumu zaidi kuliko Marekani kufungua biashara ya Uingereza. So it is challenging. That's why nimesema kitu cha muhimu sana ni tuombee tu, and please help us by pushing NALA to your relatives, to your friends, and to your peers, because it will be really helpful for us to collect that feedback there directly, but also be able to spread the message about NALA. It's we're trying to build a strong community. Obviously ni product ya Kitanzania ambayo ina service Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And najua kila mtu on this call will either have a Nigerian friend or Ghanaian friend about, and if you can invite them to use NALA, that would mean a lot to us directly. So anyway, if you guys have any other questions for me, let me know, but I'd love to open it up for Q&A for anybody in case you have any requests or features. Would love to be able to see how we can help you guys directly. On this call, I also have Shamte and Hamad. So if there's any questions directly, we can go from there. If you've not used NALA yet, please sign up with the Dakota code, which is here on the last slide. 1 second here. Let me just share my screen again. But there is a Dakota code here. And if you sign up with this code, Dakota will get get you guys will get a bonus as you make this transfer directly. So yeah, let me know if there's any other questions as I pull this up. Rafiki API, I see there's a question here about Rafiki. Rafiki is our disbursement API that we enable businesses to build on top of Nala. And we're trying to support more businesses that are trying to do business in Tanzania. But yeah, so kama uko kwenye simu au umeangalia hii kwenye laptop, just scan this code here. Ukituma $50 utapata $10, and Dakota pia atapata $10 as a bonus as well. So yeah, I'll pause right there. Maybe I'll invite Bwana Hamad kama kuna kitu cha kuongeza, and then Tina, handing it back to you for question and answer time.
Asante sana, Benji, sorry. Oh,
Good.
thank you so much for that high level. I know kwamba for that in the story, I did not know parts of that story. So that was very inspiring to hear. And yeah, I mean, the big thing about naongelea hapo pia ni kwamba yes, there are many other companies ambazo zina offer hizi services na kunazo ambazo they offer better rates than you. But there is also an additional aspect kwamba we are employing, Tanzanians to do that. So we are contributing to our nation's development and some of the challenging issues that we have in in our country, which is employment, and many other things as well. So we really appreciate and thank you for sharing the code for Dakota. Na kama ulivyosema, it's a sharing of the sort of like the incentive of $10 kwa yule anayeingia na $10 ambaye sisi tunapata. And sisi as a non-profit organization that's really geared on focusing on improving the welfare of Tanzanians in diaspora and nyumbani, that $10 goes a long way to be able to help us execute on our mission, and also bring these kind of webinars to you. So there will be more questions. I know there are additional questions. I also ask questions about the Rafiki API. So, I know there will be a time for that as well. But for now, I'd like to introduce Epimac so he can also share Vodacom, and then we'll go into the Q&A later. Maybe
Yep.
Epimac, yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. So let me know if you can see my slides. I don't know if it's good morning or good evening.
Good afternoon and good morning.
Good afternoon.
Zote zipo.
Okay.
Good evening.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. So thank you so much for inviting me to speak on this event. And thank you, Benji, for a good presentation. I think you're inspiring a lot of Tanzanians and a lot of especially startups here in Tanzania. They look at you as their big brothers, say. So I'll quickly take you through what you do in M-Pesa. And of course, part of it, Benji has already spoken about. We do partnership with a lot of remittance players across the globe. You'll see that coming soon. But a quick introduction. My name is Epimac Mbeteni, the M-Pesa director here at Vodacom. M-Pesa now is a subsidiary of Vodacom Tanzania, which is the largest telecom company in Tanzania. And the reason really for it to become a subsidiary is more of regulatory requirement. So the central bank wanted to split our GSM business from our mobile money business because they wanted to regulate it more from financial service point of view. So we are a subsidiary of Vodacom, 100% of course owned by Vodacom Tanzania. And this is a snapshot of who we are in the market. So Vodacom Tanzania, the largest telecom, of course, very tight race with the competitors. Our market share is around 30%. From fintech perspective, M-Pesa is the largest in terms of market share, with a market share of around 38%. We have overall more than 20 million customers who are transacting within M-Pesa ecosystem. And as Vodacom, of course, you can see we are widely distributed with big networks across the country. We have more than 3,000 2G sites, more than 2,000 5G sites. And as some of you are aware, we launched our 5G sites as well sometimes last year. We are providing all the telco services, but also our strategy now is transform ourselves from telco to technology company. we call it telco to techno, as many of other telecom companies across the world are also moving to the same strategy. That's why you're seeing us more focusing into fintech business, digital business. We're now offering solutions in the space of education, health, and so forth. A quick snapshot of M-Pesa. So M-Pesa today is a platform, a fintech platform with more than 20 million customers. We do have more than 300,000 merchants. When I say merchants, they range from retail shops, supermarkets, pharmacies, all the outlets that are in the country. We're the largest player with a market share of more than 70% of all the merchants in Tanzania using our solutions. We are processing more than $200 million monthly basis on our payments on our merchant payment solution. We are also integrated with more than 5,000 businesses. So businesses here in Tanzania nowadays, they are going digital, and when they want to transact, whether to collect payments or to disburse payments, source of payments, whether it's to the employees in terms of salaries, wages, and so forth, they use our platform to disburse, but also collection. We have utility companies as well. Today, you can pay nearly anything using M-Pesa, from your water bills, electricity bills, to your TRI taxes, and any other government payment. You can do it through M-Pesa. We integrated with all the banks in Tanzania, from the largest to the smallest. They're all integrated to M-Pesa ecosystem. And also across the country, we do have more than 200,000 agents who are supporting the ecosystem. Recently, 1 year ago, we started also moving to a new space, insurance space. We are not playing as an insurance company, but we're playing as a facilitator, because we've got customers on one side, we've got the distribution on the other side. So the only thing that we can do is to keep on giving more value to our customers. So we are partnering with insurance companies and rolling out insurance products, but we customize the product that we roll out. So we do have today motor insurance, and these are digital solutions. So you don't need to have physical stickers. From your M-Pesa app, you can purchase motor insurance as a comprehensive or third party, and you don't need to visit any agent or any broker to do that. You can complete it on M-Pesa app, and you get a cover from the M-Pesa app itself. We've also launched a few months ago our health insurance, which is targeting both low-end and high-end customers. Our health insurance premium starts from 70,000, and it covers both inpatient and outpatient. We have a lot of lending products, micro lending products, I'll say, which are targeting both customers, but also our agents, our merchants, and on a monthly basis, we're disbursing, on a yearly basis, we're disbursing around $400 million per annum to different customers. And the products range from overdrafts products, term loan products. These are short-term products. In our ecosystem, usually process more than 1.6 billion transactions a year. And M-Pesa today is employing directly and indirectly more than 800 employees who are employed in the M-Pesa ecosystem. So just a small recap, I think Benji has spoken about it. We are partnering with more than 70 players from different parts of the world to facilitate the remittance transactions. So from the likes of Nala and the rest, I won't mention the rest, just to respect Benji's here. Benji, I'm just joking. So we've got a lot of other players, and today you can send money actually from anywhere in the world into Tanzania using one of our partners, from Europe to America to Asia and any other country. From outbound perspective, you can also send money to East Africa and SADC countries. Because of the regulations, we're not allowed to send money outside East Africa and SADC countries. We're still working with the government to allow that, but that's still work in progress. So currently, you can send money to any mobile money operator within East Africa and SADC countries, but also any bank. So all the banks within East Africa and SADC countries are connected with M-Pesa. You can send money, and instantly the recipient will receive funds within the ecosystem. Of course, as Benji mentioned, different players are working on now on allowing payments for, of course, the known reason. A lot of diasporas are complaining when they send money for particular use, and then the recipient divert those funds to other things. But now, with our ecosystem of merchants in Tanzania, as I said, we've got more than 70% market share when it comes to the merchant business. You are able to pay to any supplier, whether it's you're paying for things like supermarkets, whether you're paying for construction, whichever. All of those are within our ecosystem as merchants. So we are working now with different players like Nala and the rest to enable that. That's coming. I think likely in the next 3 months to 1 year, you will see it coming into play. I want to talk to you something different today. We did a small survey supported by the Economy, of course, to understand really what are your real requirement, what are your needs when it comes to sending money or transactions. So we realized that over the past 1 year, a lot of people have sent money home. Of course, the ones that we cycled are the key reasons for sending money home. Mostly it's around health expenses for loved ones, but a lot of people also investing, especially in financial markets, investing in microfinance savings, as you can see. So it's around health, it's around investment, but also people are sending for their upkeeping, buying stuffs, paying vendors, paying for utility bills for loved ones, paying for TRI taxes. So he said, let's look at in our ecosystem in M-Pesa, what are the sales that can relate to this? Because today we want to give you more reasons why you should prefer sending money to M-Pesa rather than just any other network. So that's what I'm going to tackle or to talk about, and want to introduce to you what we call the M-Pesa Super App. For this case, we just named it Diaspora One Stop Shop. So we have launched like 3 years ago our Super App. I don't know if many of you are familiar with the idea of Super App. So Super App is it's literally like your app store. It's the app that is carrying other apps. So the idea is we are building M-Pesa as an app. We do have 20 million customers within our ecosystems, and these customers, they need different services. So what we're looking at here is how can you enable a customer in a very easy way to access a lot of other services without having to leave M-Pesa application. So we are partnering with different partners, both local and at a global level, to enable different services. So for example, today within the M-Pesa Super App, you can not only pay for your flight, but you can book for your flight. So you can go into M-Pesa and find a mini app I'll show you later called Book a Flight, and you can book a flight anywhere in Tanzania. We have now enabled Precision Airways, but very soon we are going to allow, I think in the next 1 month or so, you'll see all the airlines. You want to move from Tanzania anywhere in the world, you don't need to go anywhere, you just need to open your M-Pesa app, and you'll be able to book your ticket, you'll be able to get your ticket, you'll be able to pay via M-Pesa as well. So the M-Pesa Super, these are some of the features which you think they are somewhat relatable to you. Of course, as said, on Send Money Home, from the M-Pesa app, you are able to send to East Africa and other Southern African countries from the M-Pesa app. But also there's a feature which is called Link Card. It's a very interesting feature. With Link Card, you're able now to link your bank card with the M-Pesa app and move money from your bank to M-Pesa. And it supports both local cards, but also international cards. So you can link your card if you're using the app. You can link your card, move money to M-Pesa, and start enjoying all the services just like any other customer who is local here in Tanzania is able to access all other services. But as I said, we integrated the GPG. GPG is our government payment gateway. It's a mini app, and with this, GPG is integrated to more than 600 government institutions. So you are able to pay literally any government payment. If from hostel payments, you go to Mimbili, you want to make payments, hostel payments, you want to pay for electricity bills, you want to pay for your water bills, any government payment, you are able to pay using M-Pesa through this mini app. It's easy, it's real time, and everything is smooth. But as I said before, you're able to pay to more than 300K merchants, which are in Tanzania. Before the end of this year, this number will be more than Safaricom. We want to overtake Safaricom and change the narrative that now Tanzania is the largest when it comes to merchant ecosystem. But we also are able to pay to a lot of utility companies. You are able to pay for DSTV, NSSF, and literally the 5,000 business that I've spoke about. You're able to pay because we are integrated with them. From health insurance, as I said, we have launched a comprehensive health insurance, the annual premium of 70,000. This was created because we looked at Tanzanians not able to afford.
Mr. Epimac, we can't hear you. So I think your audio. Speak again.
Hello?
Okay, now it's great. Yes, it's back.
Yes, yeah. So for health, we have Afya Plus, it's a comprehensive health insurance. We have partnered with the Sembo Insurance on this. We've recently we are rolling it out across the country with just 70,000. You're able to get a comprehensive health insurance. So it's accepted right now to more than 300 hospitals, and in the next 12 months, rolling out to nearly all the government hospitals and all the clinics and so forth. On savings, I don't know how many of you are using our group saving called Mkoba. So with Mkoba, what we really did is we looked at a lot of group savings in Tanzania, especially for women. A lot of women, they do come into small groups. They save mostly on weekly basis. The money stays with one person. And then we used to have a lot of issues when it comes to, trust, because money will be lost, the chairman will disappear with money. So we created a solution which mimic that, but with some control. So you create a group, you put in approvers, money cannot go out without approvers approving by putting their PIN. You're able to add members who can contribute, and when contribution comes in, everyone get the SMS that Mr. X has contributed 10,000, 20,000, and so forth. So it's the visibility is there, and the trust is really built because of the ecosystem. So we are seeing it's growing. We now have more than 300,000 groups and more than 1 million customers who are using this. And it's one of the products that is really transforming people's lives, because more trust, people are able to save more. We are now saving more than 50 billion every single month into this Mkoba group saving. In terms of investment, some of you are talking about investment. Our platform, with our super app now, we are launching, I think next week, our mini app for DSE. So you're able now, if you're in our app, you're able to open a DSE account, you're able to trade, you're able to buy, and you're also able to sell. So everything is digitized, the experience is digitized. You don't need to visit anyone. From your app, you can be able to create your account, buy and sell. So it's a mini app which is already right now being released to users. We are integrated with UTT as well, so you can also invest into UTT. And of course, we are working on some of the customized products with UTT and some other wealth management players in the country. So this is a summary, but these are some of the mini apps that we have. As you can see here, we do have even partnership with the likes of startups like Tunza. It's a startup, and for us, it's a good story because we're empowering now startups to be able to access our customers and provide our services. Their services to the customers. So with Tunza, it's an sort of e-commerce platform. You are able to buy items online, but also able to save to buy. So even if you don't have cash today, you can create your plan and say, I want this item maybe in the next 3 months, you pay in installments, and then they deliver it to your house. So if you have, let's say your parents want to buy something for them, you can, save, and then when you complete your payments, it will be delivered to them. Book flight, you can book your flight to anywhere in Tanzania. And as I said, next month, you'll be able to book your flight anywhere in the world because we're plugging into the GDS platform that has access to all the airlines across the world. We do have DSC, which I've said is being rolled out right now to allow to trade on DSC. Guess Faster is another startup that we partner with. Guess Faster. You might be sitting somewhere in the US and your mom has run out of gas. You just open this mini app. You are able to buy your gas cylinder, and it will be delivered to their doorstep. So we will be adding more and more mini apps in partnership with different players in the country to simplify people's life. This is the link card that I spoke about. You are able to link your bank card here. We partnered with Absa Bank and Celcom to facilitate this. You're able to link your card, move money to M-Pesa wallet, and transact from M-Pesa wallet. This is the mini app for gas, as I said. As you can see, whether you want to refill your gas or you want to purchase a new gas, and you're part of all the players in the market who are dealing with gas, whether it's Oryx, Taifa Gas, whichever one that you want, the size, then that's it. You put your location, and then we deliver it to your house. This is the Tunza mini app. As you can see, it has got nearly all the items. I mean, from sofas, luxury stuffs, phones, electronics, and so forth. And you're able to book, create your plan. If you want to pay weekly, if you want to pay monthly, it will be reminding you actually. And then you're able to pay. It will remind you pay, and then when you finish, the item will be delivered to you. This is for government payments, as I said as well. These are many for government payments. You're able to make payment, verify payment. You can scan to pay. You can pay even police fines, parking, any parking in Dar es Salaam. You're able to pay digitally. Mlimani City parking as well. So you're able to do all the government payments, and you'll be able actually to confirm the name before you even pay. So when you put the control number, you'll be able to see the name and be able to verify that you're really making the right payment to the right entity. This is for insurance. So this is the mini app for insurance. As you can see, we've got motor insurance. I've said we have 17 insurance companies which we're partnered with. You can buy actually motor insurance from any of those digitally. Everything will be delivered to you digitally. Whether third-party or comprehensive. We have also health insurance, the Afya plans that we've launched. We have life insurance, we have group life insurance, or anything. All this is digitized. You can also save to pay. We also have IPF, insurance premium financing. So if you don't have cash and you want to pay for your motor insurance, we give you a small loan. So you just pay around 25%, and the rest you pay, and then you pay an installment for the next 9 months. So you're sorted. So in the past, in January, when most of insurance cover they expire in January. I don't know for whichever reasons. I believe most of my shemages from maybe North, the Chagas, they go to when they go to Mosh in December. That's the time they buy the cover. So most of them they expire in December and January. And January you have to pay school fees. You have to make a lot of payments, rent payments. And sometimes you run out of money. So we have now sorted that. If you have 25%, the rest will pay, and then you'll be able to pay an installment for the next 9 months. Yeah, so you are able to, you can also save if you don't want to take a loan. You can have a saving plan, you save, and then you are able to pay for it. Yeah, the DSC mini app for trading, and you'll also see a couple of reports that will give you the trends, how different players are performing before you make a payment. So in summary, that's it. Also, we are now piloting what we call OTT app. So our app today is only limited to Vodacom customers. But as you know, financial services has nothing to do with telecom. So we want to release. We'll release a new version, which is over the top, which means whether you're a Tigo customer, Airtel customer, Allotel customer, you should be able to download the M-Pesa app, self-register as long as you've got a national ID, and be able to transact using our M-Pesa platform. So I think these are some of the features that some are related to you. As I've said, you can send money to M-Pesa using the likes of Nala, and then start enjoying this, but also you can link your card, as I've said, move money from a card to M-Pesa app, and also enjoy the services. I'll stop there. I know I've got a couple of my colleagues who also have joined. Brigitta, Ruthie, if there's anything else you wanted to add, or anyone from Vodacom before we start, before we hand over to Tina. Thank you so much for listening.
All right. Thank you so much, Epic, for such very rich information. It's a lot of things that we didn't know, as some of the diaspora have been saying. We have been missing a lot of things because we didn't have clear information about a lot of things, and we are so happy just for Diaspora to start this, inviting people to come over, people who are experts in the field, to come and give us this very much information that is needed. But also just by understanding that diaspora is it's a big market niche that I believe we can all take advantage of. I didn't want to extend big thanks to you, and also by just being mindful of time. So we will just shoot into questions. We have some few questions that have been posted on the charts, but also big shout to Shamte, have been on point, just answering questions that have been posted, which is very important into saving time. So just to get started, we're gonna get started into questions, unless otherwise there is anyone from M-Pesa, that wanted to add something before, we can just shoot into questions. So I have a few minutes in case there is anyone from your team that wanted to add something.
Not real, Benji, we are good, so you can proceed. We will be watching the questions and we'll be able to support the EPMAC timely.
Okay, thank you so much. I did appreciate for that. Okay, so that being said, all right, so let's go to questions. So we have some few questions that have been posted on here, but also I'm gonna give time at the end, for you to be able to ask questions directly. I understand that we have a few more minutes, but we're gonna make this work for us all. So in case you have a question, just prepare to be concise and clear. That way we can save time, right? So we're gonna get started with my namesake Benji. To be honest, I have gotten a lot of credit, because some people thought I am. Also, I received a lot of credit, and I was so good enough just to tell them, no, it's not me, because I had the compliments when you started. Like, so I didn't know you opened the company. I'm like, no, it's not me. Come on. Yeah, so I'm so happy for you to be here, and Nara is doing great, and we did appreciate for the service, to be honest. So we have one of the questions that have been, repeated in various forms, even though you gave answers, but I think this is still pressing. So there is a question that relates to Peter Monsunga, but also Fred Paul almost asked the same question. So if you don't mind just giving more on this. So the question is, mostly is the diaspora community. So they wanted to know what other NALA features that you are hoping to introduce? I understand you talked about the P2P, but also we wanted to see, are there any investment opportunities for the diaspora, like buying shares into your company, anything, that it can be involved directly with regard to your company? And I think that one also, you talked about starting a card, having a card that people can really take advantage of doing transactions. If you can just talk more about investment opportunities into NALA, but also if there is anything, with maybe a prepaid account, something that can make life a little bit more easily for someone who just had an abrupt need, so an emergency need, and maybe in one way or another, they can just build an account that it can accommodate them when they need it most. Welcome, Benji, or anyone from your team.
Yeah, no, that's helpful. So first of all, sisi kama team ya NALA, watu kama Hamad hapa on the call, ambaye anatusaidia ku collect customer feedback as well, na pia watu kama Shamte on the call as well. What we try to do is we look at what are the features that people would like to use. Ile survey that Bwana Epimac had shared earlier is actually very, very useful, because what we look at, what is the behavior that people are already doing today, and how do we make it easier, faster, cheaper, simpler, with more transparency and with more control. So the sender has more control of their money and where the money is going and how the money is being used. So if you go back to the survey data, cha kwanza watu wamesema ni kusend money home for daily upkeep, right? Sasa, what is the daily upkeep? Is the upkeep umeme? Is it kulipia kwa luku? Is it kulipia kwa DSTV? Is it kulipia kwa, kodi or Dawasa or Dawasco or any of the services like that? Because if it is for those vendors or those merchant payments directly, then that's where it becomes interesting kwa sisi kama NALA. So Kenya tayari tunafanya hiyo kitu. Tunaenable watu kulipia DSTV directly kutoka Marekani, Uingereza, and Europe. So then every month mtu anaenda, instead of kumambia mama, chukua hiyo hela, kumambia ndugu yake chukua hiyo hela kwenda kulipia, they can just do it directly from the US, UK. So those are the features that we're trying to build. So all the features we try to build is around the user requests, because that's the problem, right? The other thing kwenye hii issue ya health insurance, ningependa kuuliza swali hapa. Unajua health insurance in Tanzania, is selling health insurance in Tanzania is very hard. Why? Because your competition is Jesus. Watu wengi sana Tanzania hatupendi kununua health insurance kiukweli. And what I would like to do is, kwa sababu watu ambao wamesafiri nje, labda wewe uko Marekani au Uingereza au Europe au Australia au Canada, wherever you are dialing in today, au Sweden, Norway, and so on, watu wengi wanajua umuhimu wa health insurance wakishafika kule. Walivyoenda Marekani labda hawajakuwa na health. Mimi binafsi sijakuwa na health insurance Tanzania. Nilivyofika Marekani, shule ilisema ni requirement kama wewe ni mwanafunzi, you have to have a health insurance plan. So that was the first time mimi binafsi nikapata health insurance. So the thing that we would like to explore is, can we enable diaspora to buy health insurance kwa their family back in Tanzania directly from the NALA application? So things like these are things we're exploring. The challenges of doing these things is we rely on third parties. Mfano, tuna partner na insurance company moja, labda, let's say, Jubilee Insurance or whatever in Tanzania, to enable people to buy for their parents' health insurance, let's say above the age of 60, and they make the payment through NALA. If anything goes wrong, mfano, labda mtu kapata emergency, wamepeleka hospitali labda ya Aga Khan, alafu wamekataa kuwatibu because labda insurance unit doesn't cover a certain level or quality, mwisho wa siku watu watablame NALA and not Jubilee Insurance. You see? So all of a sudden, customer care yangu, we have to think about how do we support these services in a way that people are buying insurance that we're selling from a third party that is not NALA. But if anything goes wrong, we're not the call center for the health insurance. The call center is Jubilee Health Insurance. Lakini mtu atasema, lakini nimenunua kupitia NALA, right? And so those are some of the challenges when we try to build services like these that we face as a business. Kwenye issue ya card issuance, or even the issue ambayo umesema Benjamin, ni kuhusu labda mtu kapata emergency, labda okay, mfano mtu kila mwezi anatuma $200 nyumbani, labda kapata emergency, mtu ana changamoto hospitali or something like that, then yeye mshahara wake nakuja mwisho wa mwezi, so the middle of the month ana ile emergency. Nala, can you guys front the money, ile $200, and then by mwisho wa mwezi nitalipa $200 na $5, so $205 kwa ile because you helped me front the money and so on. So those are things that we are exploring doing. It's very, very challenging because we're not a bank. And we, like, the moment we start lending, it's very, very difficult. So we would have to work with somebody who does the lending to support. But those are the things that become tricky for us to be able to do efficiently and well. So labda mtu amechukua hiyo $200, mwisho wa mwezi hajatulipia, tunafanya nini? What can we do? We can close their account, lakini tukishafunga account yake, yeye anaenda kutumia Sendwave kesho na World Remit kesho. So we lost the money completely, right? $200 zimepotea, and then we never get the customer back. So before we get to that stage, we would like to open cards, physical cards. So Nala cards, kama debit card, sio credit card, ni debit card. And why? Because with the card, we can see the user behavior on the things that the diaspora is spending on directly as well. And then we can look at what is the credit worthiness of this customer to be able to build, let's say, potential lending products for them directly. So those are things of how I'm thinking about this directly. Obviously, Benjamin, kama mtu yote kwenye this channel, kuna watu 63 hapa. If anybody has feedback on what we can build or do better, this is what I would love to get you guys' feedback on, hey, let's see what Nala can build for our customers directly and better here, because then this will help us and support us and be able to build the product roadmap. Everything we build around at Nala is around customer feedback and customer support directly. So yeah, that's how we think about things like this as a business. Kama kuna mtu yote hapo kwenye chat, kama ana feedback on features that they would like to see, andika, what do you wish we could do as Nala in the chat? And I would love to see what those features would be. But yeah, that's kind of how we see it, Benjamin.
Wow. Thank you so much, Benji. And I did appreciate for that. And I'm sure wengi mtakuwa mmepata jibu zuri. And one thing that really makes a difference is that Benji is the founder. So we are talking to the man, he's right here. So Nandomana na encourage, kama una feedback, in order to improve services, because sababu at the end of the day, we care for our people to be well served. The diaspora community, Nandomana, that's our pushes Diaspora. Na pia nipate tu kuwa encourage sana. Kama hujajiunga na Diaspora, please do so. Kwa sababu we have a lot of features as well. Will it be a place where you can go and have all this information, connections to all these people at any time. So we're trying to make it work for us. Ya kwamba tuwe well informed, but at the same time, just taking advantage of every opportunity out there. Sawa. Kwa hiyo kwa kuongezea tu hapo Benji, kabla sija kuacha uende, there is a question. I think it'd be very good kama you can just say a little bit about it. Rachel Magasha ameuliza, any plans for Asia, China, and Hong Kong? And there is someone else also asked, and I think it'd be very well and good if they can hear it from you. That way, just for them, just to have that, anxiety, just trying to wait for something. Kuna Shubira pia amesema, where do you see NADA in the next 5 to 10 years? I know you have answered it in some of the answers that you have spoken, but it's well received when they can hear it, you say it again, so just, can say something about it.
Yeah, a few things, Benjamin. Starting a company is very hard. Kila asubuhi naamka, alafu ninaingia kwenye simu yangu, nasoma messages. Zingine ni matusi, zingine ni sijui nini, nimetuma hela dakika 5, hajaingia. And then the challenge is, nikifunga hii simu yangu, mwone hii hapa ni unread messages. Zote ni leo. This is my own personal phone number. Kwa nini? Watu wanapata namba yangu, wanasema, huyu Benja namjua, hebu mpigie tu haraka. So mtu anafikiri akinipigia mimi, changamoto chake itakuwa resolved. Wakati, what I explain to people is, listen, we have a full customer support team that is 24 hours. Message them directly. Unajua kibongo kwa sababu mtu anakuwa na namba yangu, anasema okay, ngoja nimpigie Benja tu moja kwa moja. Mimi unajua hii hapa ni Tanzania tu. Imagine mimi ni mtu mmoja. Tuna events za Ghana, tuna events za Nigeria, tuna events za Kenya, tuna events za Uganda, tuna events za Rwanda, Senegal. And so how can I, kama mtu mmoja, be able to balance all of this out directly? It's not easy, right? And this is why we need your support as the diaspora to be able to spread the word about Nala. Kila mtu hapa anajua watu 10 ambao wanatuma hela nyumbani. And I want to ask you, have you informed them about Nala? Have you tried to like welcome them to try to use Nala and given them like, hey, look, Nala unaweza kutuma hela zaidi nyumbani. You can send to all networks. You can send to all bank accounts directly from Nala. And then if you have any product feedback, kuna Mama Nala pale in the chat where you can message the Mama Nala team at any time to ask any questions. Mona hapa jinsi Shamte alivyowajibu many of the questions. It's the same thing like Mama Nala. Any questions you have about that, you can check on the website as well. So plans for the future for Asia. We would like to launch Asia. It's not easy, probably not going to be in 2024, but next year, 2025. This year, to launch Canada as a new market. So Tanzania wako Canada, they were able to send money. Then over time, probably UAE, so Tanzania wengi wako in the Middle Eastern region. Najua kuna watu wengi sana ambao wako Norway and Sweden ambao waliomba sisi tuende pale. It's not easy because in every country we need a bank partner. And so kupata bank partners kwenye nchi zingine ni ngumu, inachukua muda nyingi sana. And then we're a small team, so trying to scale responsibly as well. And it's a very expensive business to run. About future plans, Mungu akipenda, ningependa siku moja tunaweza kuuza shares publicly as a company. So that means going public on the New York Stock Exchange. Jana nilikuwa New York, leo niko London. But unajua, it would be a dream like one of the earliest African companies listing on the New York Stock Exchange. That would be the dream. It's not going to be easy, but this is why we need partners like Vodacom and other people like that to be able to help us and support us to get there. Tukienda kwenye hizi events, we're the only Tanzanians there. Like, I'm not Tanzania. Nikialiko kwenye mwaka juzi nikaalikwa kwenye White House. Mimi sijawahi kufika White House kwenye maisha yangu. Ghafla napewa email na usstate.gov kutoka ofisi ya President Biden. Unaingia pale, kuna the only Tanzanian ni Mheshimiwa Rais and Balozi Kanza and hata bodyguard ya Mheshimiwa Rais hakuruhusiwa kuingia. So you can imagine, like, and then there's me. And then you go there and you're sitting around 49 presidents from Africa. And unajiuliza, how come there's no other like tech companies for Tanzania? Tunajulikana kwa utalii, tunajulikana kwa muziki yetu, lakini kwenye biashara, I would like to be making sure Tanzania is known for it as well. And I would like to see more entrepreneurs, not just Benji. I would love to see some of you in this chat build companies and great companies, because I know we can do it. Mfano mimi, kijana ambaye yuko Tanzania, akitaka kuingia music, anaweza kumwangalia Diamond. Mimi kama Benjamin, nikitaka kuingia kwenye teknolojia, namwangalia nani kama Mtanzania? Who can I look up to? Who is my role model in technology in Tanzania that I can be like, okay, ningependa kuwa kama mtu fulani? So it's not easy being like doing what we're doing. And nasema ukweli, nataka niwe wazi, kuna mashetani ambayo tunakutana nazo wengine ni ngumu sana. And we have to remain positive and try our best as a company, because in every country there is so many new challenges. And so this is why nashukuru group kama Dakota and what they're trying to do of bringing the Tanzanian group together. But I want us as Tanzanians to really be able to collect and understand what we can do together. Naona swali hapa ya mwisho inasema, what does Nala mean? Nala is derived from a Swahili Bantu word that means a beautiful gift. Nala is also the lioness in Lion King, and the lioness hunts more than the male lions. The lionesses wanawinda zaidi kuliko simba, and they provide for the family. And so what we're trying to do is, how do you enable people as a financial service to provide for people directly? Now, even a side note, the joke I tell people, Nala inamaanisha nakula. So it's the joke of what I tell people. And then hapa kwenye, you can see here, question ya Emmanuel, how long does it take to process the refund and who's responsible? Nala or my bank account for facilitating in the event a transaction is delayed. Emmanuel, hiyo inategemea which bank sent the money and in which country and to what bank in Tanzania. When we issue a bank payment, sometimes there might be a delay because that is not Nala's fault. Let's say it's NBC's fault. So we have to contact NBC on your behalf. We have to wait for their team to come back to us and then revert back to us to return the money directly into your account. When we try to issue the money to be returned to your account, it can depend on your bank in America. Kama ni Bank of America, Wells Fargo, banks kama hizi, it's a lot faster. Kama ni Community Federal Savings Bank or some random bank here or there, itachukua muda zaidi kidogo. But yeah, that's how we see things like that. But yeah, Benjamin, I hope nimejibu maswali za timu ya Dakota. Mwishoni tu, I would love for all of you ambao you're on this call, whether you're in Tanzania, whether you're in Tanzania or US, UK, Europe, please use Nala to send money home. Give us feedback on what we can do better, and also tell your friends. Ingia kwenye WhatsApp group yako, kuna button pale inasema earn with Nala. Invite your friends and tell them to move to use Nala, because wewe utalipa $10 kama uko Marekani. Ukialika kila mtu ambaye akitumia Nala, you'll get paid into your Nala wallet directly. And kama uko Uingereza utapewa £5 directly to send money. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Benji. You are an inspiration. I can say that. Now, I like it kwamba umeshare, one of the, changamoto zinazokuwepo, which is very obvious. Ila tu, kazi yako ni nzuri, you are doing great. And we really promise our, full support, just as Diaspora, but also as the diaspora. So tunaposema diaspora, it's a very big market, it's everywhere. Kwa hiyo jamani, tusapoti wa kwetu, kama anavyosema, share with your friends, talk to them about Nala, na pia be, kuwa advocate kwa ajili yake pia, when he comes to your city, show up, give him support, kwa sababu kwa kufanya hivyo, wengi watapata kujua kuhusiana na Nala, but at the same time, you are supporting your very own, ambayo sio kwako tu, lakini pia kwa ajili ya maendeleo ya nchi yetu, Tanzania. Kabla kuna swali specifically kwa ajili ya Epimac, kwa hiyo lakini kabla sijaja kwako, naomba tu nimpe nafasi Hamad Kasonga, kwa sababu yeye yuko hapa Marekani, just kusikia kidogo, what are the future plans for the diaspora, especially those here in the US. I know you haven't started serving in Canada, lakini, it's good to hear from you as well, kwa sababu hapa moja kwa moja, namna gani umejipanga katika kuwasaidia diaspora walioko hapa Marekani na kuhamasisha zaidi kuweza kuingia, kuweza kutumia Nala na hizo privilege nyingine nyingi zilizopo. Karibu sana.
Asante sana Benjamin. Nashukuru sana pia, asante sana Benji. Great presentation, Epimac as well. Dada yangu Tina na wengine wote ambao wameweza kutangulia, maswali mazuri. Shamte kuweza kufanya kazi nzuri sana kwa kujibu. Kwangu kwanza napenda kushukuru Dakota kwa kutupa platform. That's been very good. Na kama Benjamin aliweza kusema, niko San Francisco, niko main job ni kuweza kufanya Watanzania wengi na community ya Tanzania, sio Tanzania pia ya Kenya, Uganda na community nyingi ambazo sisi tuna operate kuweza kujiunga na Nala. Kikubwa ambacho nakifanya ni kuweza kuwork direct na community. So kwa mfano Dakota ina platform ambayo kama hii, sisi lengo letu ni kuweza kukutana na uongozi, kuangalia kama kuna nafasi naweza tukaweza kushare about Nala, watu waweze kujua about Nala, where are we heading, what product do we have, na kuweza kupata feedback ya product ambazo can improve. Kama ulivyokuona hapa, imekuja, kuna maswali mengi yamekuja, kuna watu wanataka kujua what's coming for Nala. This ndio lengo letu, kuweza kupata his feedback, kwa sababu the more we get to understand kitu gani wateja wanataka, the more we can be able to build better product. Lakini pia kikubwa ni kwamba watu wanashindwa kujua kwa nini, labda kwa mfano kuna matatizo in case of delays, ama kuna vitu gani ambavyo Nala vinashindwa ama vinafanya ambavyo perhaps watu washindwa kujua. Kwa hiyo call like this inatupa sisi nafasi kuweza kujibu directly. Kwa mfano, kwa nini tunahitaji social security number? Benjamin amesema mwanzoni. Kwa nini kuna delays za fund? Kuna vitu kama floating na vitu kama hivyo. Kwa hiyo with that inatupa sisi nafasi kubwa sana kuweza kuconnect na Watanzania na watu ambao wanatumia huduma yetu. A call here ni kwetu sisi, kwangu specific kwa sababu niko hapa Marekani, ni kuweza kujua ni jinsi gani tunaweza kuwafikia watu wengi kwa ukubwa zaidi. Nikisema hivyo nikiwa na maana mimi niko San Francisco, lakini I'm very open kwenda miji mingine. Naongelea I'm open to go Atlanta, I'm open to go in Chicago, I'm open to go to Washington, I'm open to go to New York. Kikubwa ni kwamba I'll provide my contact here. You can just contact me direct. Kama kuna any upcoming event ambao unahisi kwamba it's gonna be way good kwa sisi kama Nala kufika, ama ikiwezekana Benjamin kuweza kufika kuongea direct na customers, inaweza ikawa ni an event, inaweza ikawa a picnic, inaweza ikawa ni something which combine na kusanya Watanzania, we'll be more than happy kufika. Lakini sio hivyo tu, kama there's a way that we can collaborate ama tukaweza kufanya sponsorship, we are not there yet kuweza kutoa hela kiasi kikubwa, lakini we are open to be able to collaborate in our means. Na najua kama Dakota ina event ambayo inakuja iko Austin, sisi tuna kiwango kikubwa tuna looking forward kuweza kushiriki kwa njia moja ama nyingine. Lakini any other upcoming event ambazo zinakuja, we are very open. Just recap on that, February na March, Benjamin while was here in US, tumeweza kufanya event in Columbus, Ohio. We did an event in Los Angeles, Orange County. I was in San Diego. We had an event in Dallas, Texas. We had another event here in San Francisco. As now I'm in the call, there's another meeting which is going to be happening in San Francisco by 4 p.m. In the evening, San Francisco time. So I'll be attending that as well. So overall, ni sisi kuweza kujiengage zaidi na jamii, na tungapenda kama kuna mtu ama kuna kiongozi ama there's a way that tunahisi kama Nala tunaweza tukashiriki kwa njia moja ama nyingine, please do not hesitate, tuko kwa ajili yenu. Na pia kama kuna matatizo on product or anything, please reach us to us kwa kutumia Mama Nala ama direct mimi, na I'll be more than happy kuweza kusaidia na kuweza kuboresha huduma kiujumla. Asanteni sana.
Okay, asante sana Ahmad, kwa taarifa nzuri kabisa, and yeah, nafurahi kwamba at least kuna hizo effort za kuweza kutembelea states mbalimbali, lakini pia nipate tu, najua kuna viongozi wa jumuiya mbalimbali wako hapa, please kama una event, make it a point, kualika mmoja kama ndugu yetu hapa ambaye yuko hapa, let them come and speak, kwa sababu tunaangalia huduma wanazozitoa. So at the end of the day tunataka the diaspora community especially hapa Marekani waweze kufikiwa na hizi huduma. It's on the point. Ni very muhimu tunapo jaribu kufanya, kwa sababu huwezi ukawa kila mahali wakati wote, lakini if you have people like Nala, unaweza ukafikia ndugu zako, unaweza ukasaidia pale panapohitajika, but also it's very good to see one of our own trying to make a progress into the industry, and we'll share the history. Tutakuwa tuna make history kama tutasimama nao kwa pamoja. That means we are building history together. It doesn't mean kwamba kwa sababu hauna direct share, but still it'll be part of us all. Kwa hiyo pia nipende tu tena kurudia kusisitiza, jamani, Diaspora Council of Tanzanians in America is very important. We really trying to bring us all together, tuweze kuwa pamoja, tuweze kufanya kazi kwa pamoja. Tunaelewa kabisa mchango wa jumuiya mbalimbali hapa Marekani, lakini itakuwa ni vizuri when we have a platform ambayo inatuunganisha kama hivi kwa pamoja, just to tackle a common agenda ambayo ni kwa ajili ya kwetu wote. Kwa hiyo nashukuru sana kwa majibu mazuri. Bado kuna maswali mengine kuhusiana na Nala, but I'll give you a break for now. And let me just call out Epimark, kama kuna mtu mwingine katika timu yako anayeweza kutusaidia kujibu. Yeah. Pia there is this one question. Kuna swali moja ambalo mtu ameuliza, amesema ulielezea kuna hizi huduma ambazo zinatolewa na M-Pesa ambazo mnafanya nao kazi. Nadhani hiyo huduma ni hizi, umesema kuna tunza, kuna changisha, kuna hizo huduma kama hizo. Sasa swali liko kwamba hizo ni nani anaye regulate hizo huduma, kwa maana ya kwamba kama Benji alivyosema, mtu anaweza akanunua kitu, this is an online, is e-commerce. Mtu anaweza akaorder kitu na sikipate, au akapata ile quality yake iko tofauti. Does M-Pesa stand pale katikati to reimburse au kuhakikisha kwamba huyu mtu hapate experience yoyote ambayo ni negative experience? Do you give assurity to the people ambao wanaingia kwenye hii business kwamba you are there to foresee all the process and to make sure it's a legit transaction, but also as customers, they are having the best out of this experience?
Yeah, asante sana. I think it's a very good question. Kwanza niseme tu kwamba the idea of super app ni partnership more. Kuna mini apps ambazo tunazijenga wenyewe, lakini mini apps nyingi ni partnership. Na sisi tumechukua very positive in a way kwamba as we are all talking about empowering Tanzanian companies, we see this as an opportunity to empower startups specifically. So you'll see most of the mini apps that we've launched currently, these are Tanzanian startups. Tunza, I think some of you might be aware of it. The like also of Gets Faster and so forth. So what do? We don't just open this platform to anyone to just plug the service and start using it. We have a process. The first process, of course, vetting process that we do to make sure that it's a legit company, registered, all the documents are there before onboarded. But also we have our own checks. So from technology perspective, we make sure that they are capable of providing service. If they are not, we also provide training. In some cases, we advise them to host their services in our ecosystem because we've got more capability in terms of IT technology, security, and so forth. So that's one. But also from customer experience, we train them, we bring them up to speed to make sure that there's no difference between what you're offering and what they're offering. So we have a clear onboarding process and support process. And when you have any issue, of course, you can reach out to our call center numbers and you'll be able to be supported. So our support channels, they also support these services in terms there is an escalation, something has happened. So we take full ownership. It's not like their services. When a customer open M-Pesa app, they'll just see them. They won't see the partner names unless they know the product. They will see as M-Pesa. But at the back, it's a service that is offered by a third party. Yeah, so we take full ownership and make sure that everything is properly supported. And we think this will really help a lot of, and they've seen already, like with the mini app that was launched, the number of customers they've over a few months is sometimes even 4, 5 times, 10 times more than what they used to have throughout their history. So we can see that is really helping and empowering them more and more. Yep.
Okay, very good answer. So maybe just a follow-up question on that, especially for the diaspora, especially for the diaspora, because, most of the diaspora, they are much more, I can say lineage, but they are much more standing on the regulatory part of or doing transaction. So I think one question, so just wanted to know, what are the legal implications? Like, is it ideal, in case of anything, because someone needing to buy something or, overseeing a transaction, maybe made a transaction, how are the legal implications if someone wants either to sue, M-Pesa, or maybe to sue a particular company that is attached to M-Pesa? Are those feasible legal implications, or you have a contract? If someone wants to get into it, that someone has to sign a waiver?
Not sure if I got your question clearly, but I'll try to respond. So remember the service that you're offering right now, it's not that we were not offering before, right? So I'll give you an example. If you want to book a flight today in Tanzania, you can book a flight using Air Tanzania website, you can go to Precision website, right? If you want to buy stuffs online, this company has also got other channels that you can go and buy. What you're doing is to bring them within our ecosystem and give them access to the number of players the number of customers that we have. So today you have a platform which has got customers and distribution, but they don't talk to each other. I mean, you've got 20 million customers. These customers are looking to, buy tickets. They're looking to buy stuffs online, but they're not talking. It's like actually Instagram. So what you're allowing now is allowing these customers to access the services within the ecosystem. These are registered companies. They're already operating legally in Tanzania. We do sign contracts with them for them to be onboarded into the platform. So all legal requirements in terms of onboarding are observed before we onboard them into the ecosystem. And hence any legal action can be taken based on that. So we do have legal contracts with them. They are registered. There's proper vetting. As you know, Vodacom is a corporate company. It's also registered Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, and it's regulated from, of course, TCRA, BOT, by the government at large. So we don't play shortcuts. So these are proper businesses that are on board, and we have relationship from contract, SLAs, and everything, and we support them to grow as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Mark, for answering the questions. There is still some more questions about health insurance, but I'll pause for now and give because of time, I'm gonna give some minutes to the audience as well, for them to ask, and we really prefer to hear some different voices here. So to get started, there is Baba Wasiero. If you still have a question, please, I want to give you time for you to ask that question. Kwa hiyo sasa hivi nakaribisha maswali direct from the phone. Najua bado kuna maswali ambayo tunayo kwenye chat, lakini nitapozi kwa sasa kidogo ili kusudi pia niweze kutoa nafasi kwa audience kuuliza swali moja kwa moja. Kwa sababu hawa watu wetu muhimu, our speakers are here, itakuwa vizuri kabisa ya kwamba you can connect and just get to hear from them directly. Kwa hiyo karibuni sana. Kama una swali, tafadhali unaweza ukanyosha mkono. Kwa hiyo tutaanza na Baba Wasiero. Kama una swali, tafadhali karibu. Okay, kwa hiyo we're gonna save time, unaona. Kwa hiyo mtu yeyote kama una swali, tafadhali unaweza ukanyosha mkono au unaweza ukafungua mic yako ukauliza. Kwa hiyo nitatoa dakika moja, nitasubiria dakika moja kama kuna swali. Kama hakuna, nitarudi kwenye chat, au kama unapendelea kuandika kwenye chat, tafadhali fanya hivyo.
In the meantime, Mr. Benjamin, ningependa kumkaribisha Bwana Shamte Daudi awasalimie kidogo mtazamaji mwenzetu ambaye yuko Nala and has been helping us out. Ni one of the earliest employees in Nala, ambaye he's been with the company one of the longest times at the company, ambaye ametusaidia kujenga biashara nzima ya Nala. Ndio huyu hapa Shamte Daudi.
Okay, karibu Shamte.
Asante sana. I hope you guys can hear me. So jina langu ni Shamte Daudi. Nipo na timu ya Nala. I'm happy to be here. Pia ninafuraha kuona baadhi yenu mnatumia Nala. Kwa hiyo tafadhali, kama bado hujatumia Nala, download Nala kwenye Play Store au App Store. Pia mjulisha rafiki yako, ndugu na jamaa kutumia Nala. Asanteni.
Yeah, asante Shamte. Benjamin, naruhusiwa kuuliza swali? Mimi ni Tina.
Karibu.
Yeah, niko very excited about the Diaspora One Stop Shop. Itatoa suluhu kwa issues zetu nyingi. Nilikuwa nataka kama kaka Epima kanaweza kuelezea kidogo ile vikoba. Kuna watu sehemu ambao wako very interested na vikoba na SACCOS, na hata sisi Daikota we are exploring establish SACCOS. Tuko kwenye hiyo stage. So kwenye vikoba ni kwamba, kwa sababu najua ni limit ya watu 20 na wanakuwa na nani zao, bylaws zao wenyewe na nini. So how does that work kwa Voda? for M-Pesa. Kama unaweza ukaelezea kidogo. Alafu the other question on the link between the integration ya UTT naielewa, kwamba you buy zile vipande directly from M-Pesa, but with DSC, how does that work with a broker being in the middle? Na bypass au inakuwaje? Kama unaweza kuelezea kidogo.
Yeah, yeah, asante sana Tina. So maybe nianze na la mkoba. So mkoba kama nilivyosema ni huduma ambayo ina support watu ambao wanapenda kuchanga, kusave na kukopeshana. It's very famous in Tanzania. Literally kwa asa wa mama, even at office here, I think maybe we can literally say 90% they're in groups, in some sort of groups. So yenyewe inaofanya kazi ni kwamba number one, you need to have someone who create the group, and you can do it whether using a USD ile nyota 150 nyota 00 if you don't have a smartphone. But on smartphone it's very easy. You just open, you see a tab on your M-Pesa app called Mkoba. You tap on it, ukifungua inakupa very easy description how to create a group. You create the group and then you add the leadership team. So if it's a secretary, a treasurer, na wale sasa ambao nataka wawe approvers, you just set them as approvers. Setting them as approvers means they'll be able to approve any movement of funds going out of the group that you've created. And then you are able also to add now other users. Once you've set hiyo, unaruhusiwa pia kuset rules kutokana na nyinyi wenyewe mnavyotaka. Kwa hiyo kuna complicated groups ambazo zinataka kuset up mpaka interest na nini na nini, na kuna zile basic family groups ambazo just savings tu, basic savings kila mwezi. Kwa hiyo you're able to if you go through the app, it is self-explanatory to take you through the whole process. Tuna link pia tutatumia hapa ambazo zinaelezea mkoba services. I think niko na mwenzangu mkurugenzi wa customer service atashare baadaye some few links that can help you to give you more details on how mkoba works and also how other services works. Kuna some YouTube video that we have. Kwa hiyo kwa kifupi, it's a very simple service. Kitu kikubwa sana, in a very easy way you're able to save. Na anaifungua group of course atakiwa kwa mteja Vodacom, lakini anaweza ka-add hata wateja ambao sio Vodacom like Tigo, Airtel, any other network, and you're also able to contribute from those networks into the group. And then kutoka hapo mnaweza mkakopeshana. Kwenye issue ya DSC, it's also a mini app. So you go to M-Pesa app, you see a tab imeandikwa DSC. Sasa hivi ndo tuna roll out, kwa hiyo wachache unaweza mkawa mnayo. But from next week nearly all of you should be able to see. Ukifungua yenyewe utaona ni applications. Nyuma kule tumeweka unazungumza brokers, tumepata na different brokers at the back to facilitate the transactions. Kwa hiyo it's self-explanatory. Ukifungua hiyo mini hapo kama nilivyoonyesha ile picha saa zile, inakuonyesha participants wote kwenye stock markets, nani trends zao, kama wana grow share zao zina grow, price zina drop na nini, ukitaka kuangalia trends. Baadaye utaweka even some more complicated reports that you give you trends over the years na nini. Alafu una uwezo wa open account, una uwezo wa trade, ukitaka kuuza, ukitaka kununua, you are able to do it from the mini app itself. And we have this one also, we have an approval from the regulator of DSC. Thank you.
Okay, asante sana kwa majibu mazuri. Nadhani Madam President, umepata taarifa kwa ukamilifu. Kwa sababu ya muda, naomba nimkaribishe. Hizi taarifa zitakuwepo, kama hujajiunga pia na group letu la WhatsApp, linalohusiana na masuala ya investment, tafadhali ufanye hivyo. Madam President atashare, nadhani amekwisha kushare link ambayo unaweza kujiunga kwa group la WhatsApp. Wengine wamekwisha kujiunga tayari, kwa hiyo mahali ambapo utaendelea kupata taarifa zaidi na zaidi kuhusiana na financial investment, this market, na taarifa watakazo share kwa hapa. Nimkaribishe Hassan Nganzo. Karibu sana kwa ajili ya swali, karibu.
Asante sana. Kwa jina naitwa Hassan Nganzo, naishi Norway. Swali langu nataka kumuuliza wenzetu wa Voda kwamba kuna tatizo la kadi za simu, kwamba tunapokuja Tanzania tunarejista kadi ya simu na ukiondoka baada ya miezi mitatu ile kadi namba inakuwa inafutwa. Sasa je, kama kwa nyinyi Voda mnaweza mkatusaidia vipi wana diaspora ili tuweze kudumu na namba zetu hizo tunaporejista, basi tuweze kudumu nazo milele, kwa sababu hichi kitu cha kwenda na kurudi na kubadilisha kila siku namba kinatupotezea mawasiliano makubwa sana. Tulijaribu kuwasiliana na TCRA ikaonyesha kuna ugumu. Sasa tunaomba kuangalia kwa upande wenu mnaweza mkasaidia vipi ili tuweze kuokoka na kubakia na namba moja ambayo tutaweza kusajili kwa mkupuo. Shukrani.
Okay, karibu Epic au mtu yote kwenye timu yako, karibu.
Yes. Yeah, asante sana kwa swali zuri. I think changamoto ambayo kutana na watu wengi. So good news ni kwamba I think now we are finalizing, tumekubaliana na TCRA on a special plan na we are now in the process of implementing a solution ambayo itakuruhusu ukae na namba yako bila kuwa deleted. Tutaideploy I think in the month of May, na tukisha deploy tuta communicate kwa diaspora communities wote, so that one I think will be something that will be sorted. It won't happen again kwa watu ambao mnakwenda na kurudi. Kitu kingine ambacho unaweza kufanya pia kwa sasa hivi ni kwamba unajua zile keep namba yako iwe live, it's very simple. Kwa mfano ukiwa na M-Pesa application, ukibonyeza tu ile balance check pale juu, kama unaifahamu M-Pesa application, ile sehemu ya balance check which is free transaction, that's counted as a transaction. So you can just do simple things that can keep you alive, because now we don't only look at GSM transactions, umepiga simu na nini, but also tunaangalia pia M-Pesa transaction. Kwa hiyo ukifanya basic transactions line yako pia haitakaa ifuta. Yeah, but kuna hiyo plani ambayo inakuja mwezi Mei, tumeshapata approval ya regulators, tutaideploy ambayo ita extend muda wa line kuwa active. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Asante sana kwa jibu zuri ambalo na imani kabisa kwamba itakuwa ni solution kwa diaspora wengi, kwa sababu ni tatizo ambalo limekuwa kwa wengi. Kwa sababu ya muda naomba nimkaribishe Lucy. Lucy, karibu sana.
Asante. Mimi naongea kutoka San Francisco. Nataka kuadi kwenye hiyo ya mimi pia na Vodacom number, ila yangu haijawahi kukata kwa sababu niliregister pia kwa WhatsApp. Kwa hiyo pia na yenyewe inasaidia kama utakuwa unaifungua once in a while na kuandika text na kufanya nini, line yako ina back. Mimi nina swali moja ambalo nitaka kujitumia mimi hela iende kwenye my Vodacom number. Yaani kwa mfano labda natumia Nala au natumia before nilikuwa nishai kutumia kujaribisha na zile word remit. Kwa sababu jina langu is the same jina, sina jinsi ya kuiaccess hiyo hela, kuiona kama imeingia kwenye Vodacom number. Alafu pia hata nikiwa Tanzania nikijitumia kwenye hiyo namba yangu ya Vodacom kutumia namba yangu ya Marekani, bado ile transaction siioni. Yaani ni kama vile haijaenda kabisa yani. Sasa nataka kujua hapa inakuwaje.
Okay,
Asante.
Asante sana. Swali zuri. I think maybe Benjamin na Ruth kama mnaweza kusaidia. I need some technical guys to help. Anatuma kutoka kwenye account ya Nala ya kwake kwenda kwenye M-Pesa. I think from my perspective you should be able to go unless there is a specific challenge.
Yeah. Bwana Shamte, do you want to take this one?
So most likely probably okay, we need to check that transaction specific or the number, because I have to judge case by case and see what happened. Like, so then nikatoa jibu la haraka bila kuangalia number. Probably the number was wrong or there's something happened.
Au labda kwa sababu ni the same jina kutoka jina langu Lucy Gea to Lucy Gea, maybe is confusing.
Lucy, Ruth here. So kama Shamte alivyosema inabidi tuiangalie. So kama unaweza kututumia hapa kwenye chat au tunaweza tukashare email address zetu, ukatutumia information ili sisi tuweze kuifollow na kuangalia challenge ilikuwa wapi na kwa nini ikakataa. Lakini pia mbali na wewe kutumia Nala kufund M-Pesa yako, tuna huduma ndani ya M-Pesa kwa sababu wewe una line ya M-Pesa ya Vodacom na unatumia M-Pesa services, zinaitwa link card. So unaweza kulink kadi yako yoyote, either it being a Visa card, a Mastercard or an America Express card, pamoja na M-Pesa yako, alafu ukawa una fund M-Pesa yako kwa kutumia bank card yako ili kuweza kupata hela kwenye M-Pesa yako na uweze kufanya miamala yako ukiwa popote.
Okay, asante sana. Nadhani dada Lucy, usishare taarifa zako hapa, kwa hiyo hawa watu wapo, so just mark them and unaweza ukawafuata kwa pembeni ili kama alivyosema Shamte pamoja na wengine kwamba maybe is they need to see more into it. Kwa hiyo ili uweze kupata msaada mzuri zaidi, tafadhali kama unaweza ukawasiliana nao if it is M-Pesa per se, ili kusudi waweze kuona namna gani wanaweza wakalielezea kwa uzuri zaidi.
Asante sana. Asante.
Karibu. Kwa sababu kuna mtu mwingine amenyosha mkono, naona hapana. Najaribu kuangalia muda wangu, bado tuna muda kidogo. Kwa hiyo kuna swali na nashukuru sana timu wanaendelea kujibu maswali yaliyopo kwenye chat, lakini kuna swali lingine kwa ajili ya Epimark kuhusiana na swala la health insurance ambayo ni moja ya services ambazo nadhani umetaja kwenye M-Pesa. Kuna swali lilikuwa linauliza kama kuna limitations zozote au requirements zozote especially kwa diaspora ambao wako nje, lakini pia na uraia wao wamekwisha kubadilisha uraia, wamekwisha kuchukua uraia wa nchi nyingine. Hilo swala la kununua hizo premiums au health policy inakuwaje?
Yeah, so asante kwa swali zuri. So huduma zetu kwa sasa hivi hizo za afya zitahusu watu ambao wana uwezo wa kupata access ya M-Pesa application ambayo kisheria kwa sasa hivi lazima uwe na national ID. Kwa hiyo ni wale tu ambao wana national ID ndio wanaweza wakaitumia, lakini having said that, tumeiwezesha pia mtu kumnunulia mtu, yani kwa maana ya kwamba let's say una mtu anataka kununulia Tanzania, mwenzako na national ID anaweza kaingia akanunua on behalf, na huyo anayenunuliwa kama ni Mtanzania sio lazima awe na national ID, as long as ana kitambulisho chochote kiwe cha kura cha nini, akienda hospitali ataulizwa aonyeshe kitambulisho na kuna some verification process that we usually do pale, basi ataweza kupatiwa huduma za kama kawaida. Kwa hiyo kwa wale ambao si wa Tanzania wameshabadilisha uraia, hawana zile national ID, tunafanya kazi na serikali of course na hii sheria mpya inayokuja tuone jinsi ya kufanya, lakini still you can buy it using someone else who has access to M-Pesa application.
Okay, thank you so much for such a very good answer. Nadhani itakuwa imejibu sitomfahamu za watu wengi ambao walikuwa wakifikiria, kwa sababu kama alivyosema Benji, kwa watu ambao wameshatoka nje, health insurance is very important. Wanaelewa, and most of them they really want the big package kwamba ambayo inaweza cover kila kitu ambacho wangeweza kuhitaji. Nashukuru kwa ajili ya jibu zuri, lakini kwa sababu ya muda nataka nitoe nafasi za mwisho kwa ajili ya wageni wetu tulioalika kuongea mahali hapa, na kama una timu yako at least kama watapata hata nafasi ya kusema salamu itapendeza sana. Lakini kabla sijawakaribisha, nataka tu niwakumbushe kwamba tuna eventi kubwa sana ambayo is going to be one of its kind, ambayo inatarajia kuwepo Austin, Texas. Hii itakuwa Septemba 26 mpaka 29, 2024. Ni wakati wa kwetu sisi wa Tanzania kuja pamoja kama Watanzania, haijalishi uko state gani, lakini tunapokuja pamoja mambo mazuri yanatokea. Hawa speakers zaidi ambao umewaona hapa, na kuna wengine utawaona, na kuna wengine yawezekana usione kwa hapa, watakuwepo hiyo siku ya tukio. Utapata taarifa kamili, utapata kukutana nao, lakini pia utapata nafasi ya kuconnect. Kwa hiyo ni wakati wa kukosa. Kuna kuna discounts ambazo zinatolewa kwa wale ambao wata register mapema. Tafadhali take advantage. Tayari ipo wazi, registration iko wazi. Website yetu is a very good website, is running na Madam President amekwisha kushare. Tafadhali fanya hivyo, and sometimes just visit our website pia kuelewa taarifa mbalimbali kuhusiana na Dakota. It's a lot of great things happening na kabisa tunataka, we want to make history together. As long as wewe ni Mtanzania, ni rafiki wa Tanzania, tafadhali take advantage to make history together. Baada ya kusema hayo, tuanze na Benji pamoja na timu yako. Nitakupa nafasi kama kuna chochote ungependa kusema as a summary, kwa hawa Watanzania wazuri kabisa ambao wamepata nafasi kuwepo mahali hapa siku ya leo. Ni kukaribishe na pia baada ya wewe utakwenda kukaribisha timu yako, wale ambao wameambatana na wewe, at least wapate dakika moja kusema neno na baadaye tutakwenda kwa timu kwa Epimark pamoja na timu yake. Karibu sana Benji.
Asante sana, nashukuru. Ningependa kwanza labda na Bwana Ahmad alafu Bwana Shamte and then nitamalizia kwangu.
Kwangu kwanza nashukuru sana kwa timu ya Dakota. Asante kuweza kutupa platform kuweza kushirikishana na kushare vitu about now. Ombi langu tu ni kwamba we have shared a lot of information, lakini ombi letu ni kwamba, na kwangu pekee ni naomba kama kuna any upcoming event or anything ambacho nahisi Nala we can shiriki on one way or another, naomba tushirikishane. Contact zangu, lakini pia Benjamin ameshare kwamba tunahitaji more feedback on what product we can improve. Kuna link pia nimeshare hapa, naomba if you get a minute take a look. Kuna maswali 4 peke yake, it's very simple. Tunaomba sana ushirikiano wenu, lakini kwa ujumla tunashukuru sana kwa kuweza kushiriki katika call hii, kwa sababu najua you have a lot, maybe you can do something else, lakini tunashukuru sana kuweza kuwa hapa. With that nashukuru sana na I'll pass to Shamte.
Sina jipya la kusema. Ni washukuru wote ambao mmeorganize event. Nimeona kuna watu 51, so shukrani wote ambao mmeattend event. Na tafadhali zidi kutumia Nala, tuambie nini tunaweza kuboresha kwa ajili yako na tutafanya hivyo. Asanteni sana.
Labda Shamte, nikuulize swali moja. Wewe kama Mtanzania na kama one of the first employees at Nala, umeangalia kampuni ilivyokuwa kutoka watu 3, 4 mpaka watu 100 sasa hivi. Any thoughts of being a Tanzanian inside the team and any feedback of what it's like to see that happen as a Tanzanian at the company?
A good question. So one, cha kwanza ningependa wa Tanzania tu support vitu vya nyumbani kwa sababu ni vizuri. Iko ni kitu cha kwanza kabisa ambacho ningewaambia kila mtu. Tunafanya vizuri sana wa Tanzania. Ukiangalia Nala tunafanya vizuri sana Kenya, tunafanya vizuri sana Nigeria, na tunapata support kubwa sana kwenye hizo markets. Kwa hiyo ni kitu ambacho tungependa pia kuona support kubwa inatoka nyumbani. So iko cha kwanza. Cha pili, Nala imekuwa na mara zote Nala imekuwa ikifanya kile ambacho ni sahihi kwa wateja wake au kwa Tanzania. Na nina furaha kwamba tumekuwa role models. Kama Benji alivyosema, ni vigumu sana chini kwetu kumtafuta mtu wa tech wa mfano wako, right? Benji hana mfano. Kwa hiyo kwa sisi tunapoweka hiyo mifano na tunapoona kuna kampuni au startups zinakuja zinajifunza kutoka kwetu, ni kitu kizuri zaidi. Kwa hiyo ndo ambacho naweza nikasema.
Sasa asante Bwana Ahmad na Shamte. Kwa upande wangu ningependa kushukuru Dakota for organizing this event. I know kuorganize wa Tanzania kuja pamoja ni changamoto in any country in the world, so it's nice to see all of you guys hapa on this Zoom call. Watu 50 nimeona at some point kuko na watu 67, so it's nice to see many different people coming to attend this meeting. Sina mengi cha kuongeza. It's tuombe tu, that's what I will say. It's we try our best as a company, and we really try to go above and beyond to support our customers as much as we can. and it's not easy. And we compete against companies that are worth billions of dollars. Kuna kampuni tunapambana nazo kama kina World Remit, it's a $5 billion business. This is ni kampuni ndogo, lakini tunajua tunaweza kwenye sekta ya teknolojia. And so, we try our best, and we'd like, your support directly as Tanzanians, but also beyond Tanzania. Kama unamfahamu Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, in your neighborhood or around, push to them as well, not just Tanzanians. I want, ningependa sisi kama nchi tujulikane kwenye sekta ya biashara na kwenye teknolojia duniani, sio Tanzania tu. Asante.
Asante sana Benji, na timu yako yote, kwa kuwa tu kuweka wakati kuwa pamoja na sisi mahali hapa kwa ajili ya Watanzania, na wengine. Kwa hiyo ni shukrani kubwa sana. Nikukaribishe Epimac pamoja na timu yako, kama nadhani, just take the lead. Tambulisha kwa hizi dakika chache tulizonazo. Karibu.
Asante sana, na ningependa nikaribishe timu wajitambulishe. So team Vodacom, Brigitta, Ruthi, Josephine, you can just open your mic and
yeah, asante Epimac. So kwanza tunashukuru sana for Dakota to give us opportunity to be part of this webinar. We are committing to make sure kwamba we are in this journey together, to make sure kwamba we are solving pain point of diaspora. Personally, I'm very passionate. I used to be a diaspora before, so I know what it means when you're abroad and you want to support your family and friends here in Tanzania, but as well as you want to prepare for your future returns in terms of investment, what it means. So I'm taking this journey in a manner very personal and passionate to make sure that my brothers and sisters who are there that are also getting advantage of whatever solution that we are going to build. So just again, much appreciation for Tina and Benjamin for always being with us, giving us survey, which gave us insight of what do we have in store that we were able to share, but what we need to build to make sure that we are also solving all the solution. So much appreciation. Thank you.
Ruth, Josephine. Ruth, Josephine, are you there? Okay, so I think on behalf of Vodacom and M-Pesa team, niseme tu asanteni sana community ya Dakota na watu wote ambao mmejoin. Tunajua mmeacha majukumu yenu ya msingi kuja kutusikiliza, so we really appreciate for that. Na tuseme tu kama Vodacom tutakuwepo kwenye tukio lenu, kwenye hii jambo letu la msingi ambalo linakuja. Tumeshaongea na President Tina na dada Tina, so tutaparticipate. Tutakuja tule mbuzi choma ya Kimarekani. Yeah, and to the Nala team, thank you so much. I think Nala is one of our best partners. Now we are so proud of the work that you're doing. Of course, you're not only a business, but nyinyi ni bendera ya Tanzania. Mnatufanya Tanzania to feel proud kwamba kuna Tanzanian company ambayo iko huko na ina compete at a global level. So tuko tayari kuendelea kupata na nyinyi kutake ili gurudumu kulipeleka mbele zaidi na launch even more new use cases that will add value to the diaspora community. So thank you so much for listening to us. Asanteni sana.
Wow, asante sana Bwana Epimac pamoja na timu yako yote. We really feel honored kuwa na nyinyi hapa, kutoa muda wenu, kwa ajili ya Watanzania, really something really that pushed me, kwamba you committed kwa ajili ya Watanzania, and that's very important, hususan diaspora na wengine wote. Kwa hiyo nipate tu kuwashukuru kabisa wewe na timu yako. Nikushukuru sana Benjamin, pamoja na timu yako pia, for the great and wonderful work ambayo unafanya kama alivyosema Bwana Epimac. Nyinyi mmeshikilia bendera ya Tanzania, and I wish kwamba kila mmoja wetu, we can be, as proud as we are kuhusiana na kazi ambayo mnaifanya. Kwa hivyo na sisi kwa nafasi zetu, kila mmoja mahali popote pale ulipo, kwa ajili ya kuendelea kuipeperusha hiyo bendera. There is no any other better way unayoweza kuipeperusha zaidi ya kuhakikisha kwamba Nala inafahamika kila mahali. Wenzetu, kuna Wakenya, kuna wengine, they are very aggressive when it comes to business, kwa hiyo lazima tuige vitu vizuri. Kuna kazi ambayo M-Pesa wanafanya, kuna mengine hata taarifa kwa sina, lakini for you, kupata hizi taarifa, I think it's gonna be something ambayo inakwenda kukufanya hata uwe na maisha, kuwa na easy katika maisha, kuwa na unafuu katika maisha. Kwa hiyo nipate kuwashukuru sana sana, lakini pia M-Pesa, Vodacom kwa ujumla, you have been a support to us, hata Nala amekuwa support katika community mbalimbali, kwa sababu mnatambua umuhimu wa Watanzania mahali popote pale walipo, au mtofautishi. Kwa tupate kuwashukuru sana kwa hilo, na tupate kuwashukuru sana pia kukubali kuwepo kwenye tukio letu ambalo litakuwa kubwa, kwa sababu tumedhamiria kwamba ni kwa ajili ya Watanzania. Kwa nina imani kabisa Mtanzania yeyote mahali popote pale ulipo hapa Marekani, tafadhali, registration iko open, tafadhali fanya hivyo. Tunataka tuwe wengi, ili kusudi sauti yetu iweze kusikika katika umoja, tuweze kufikia malengo yetu, lakini pia tuweze kupata taarifa zitakazotuwezesha kuweza kusonga mbele. Na kama hujajiunga na Daikota, tafadhali fanya hivyo. Tuna benefits nyingi sana kwa ajili ya members. Na moja ya hizo benefits, kuna platform kwa wale wa Tanzania ambao umefika Marekani kwa mara ya kwanza. Kuna taarifa, kuna webinars nyingi ambazo zitaweza kukusaidia how to navigate unapokuwepo hapa Marekani. Kwa hiyo karibuni sana, mjiunge na hii jumuiya ya Watanzania kupitia platform ya Daikota, lakini pia usiache kujiregister kwenye community mahali popote pale ulipo. Ungana na Watanzania wengine. Tuna incentive, tuna discount nzuri sana kwa ajili ya members wa jumuiya mbalimbali za Watanzania hapa Marekani, kwa ajili ya kuja kuattend meeting. So as long as wewe ni member kwenye ile jumuiya, kwa sababu tunatambua umuhimu wa zile jumuiya pia, tafadhali fanya hivyo, ili kusudi Watanzania tuweze kuwa na sauti moja, bila kujali uko mahali gani. Kwa hiyo niwashukuru sana kila mmoja aliyeweka na kutenga muda kuwa pamoja nasi. Kuna watu wako Norway, kuna watu wako Australia. Hii yote inaonyesha ni kwa jinsi gani Watanzania ni wamoja, ni kwa jinsi gani wote tuna nia moja ya kutaka kuona Tanzania mpya. Kwa hiyo jamani, tuwashukuru sana. Nipate tu kumkaribisha Madam President, Madam Tina. Najua alikuwa anajiandaa kwa ajili ya safari, lakini ameahirisha kila kitu ili kusudi aweze kuwa pamoja na sisi hapa, kwa kutambua umuhimu wa Tanzania kwa ujumla. Kwa hiyo nikukaribishe Madam Tina, kama utakuwa na nafasi kwa ajili ya kusema remarks za mwisho, na baadaye tutakwenda kuahirisha kipindi chetu siku ya leo. Karibu.
Asante Ben, mimi ni shukrani tu za mwisho na za mwendelezo wa yote. Kwa kweli tulivyo niseme kwamba tulivyoshirikiana na Vodacom earlier this year kufanya hiyo survey, sikujua kwamba ita result into this big Diaspora one stop shop. Na yani nimefurahi mno, kwa sababu yani in so many ways it solves our problems, na also kuibrand Diaspora one stop shop ina maana kwamba mnatutambua kama players, the way we meaningfully engage with our economy in many different ways. And I know kwamba there's so much that is coming with that as well. Na sisi kwa Nala yani tunajisikia, we're very proud of Nala kwa sababu it's ours, it's ours. Na tukiona matangazo where we travel, na mengineo, tukimwona Benja, kama juzi nimeona Benja, United States is the ndo ambayo ina generate revenue kuliko sehemu zote duniani. Yani we're very proud of that and we're supporting that full throttle. Kwa hiyo tukiwa moja tunakuwa zaidi na ubora, tunaimarisha ubora wetu. Kwa hiyo ni kuendelea tu kusema na kuomba kwamba tuendelee kushirikiana for the benefit of ourselves, our families, our communities and our nation. Karibuni sana Austin. Mimi niko Austin. Karibuni, tutakula Texas barbecue, is the best in the United States. Na kuna mengi sana hapa ambayo yako mtaweza kuenjoy. Naomba niseme kwamba next week tuna another webinar ambayo itakuwa inaelekeza kwenye mambo ya investing and wealth creation from the US side more, lakini the things ambazo tutajifunza ziko applicable everywhere. Tutakuwa tunaongea kuhusu family banking. Kwa hiyo tunatoka kwenye kwamba tukutegemea tu mabenki, lakini sisi wenyewe tunaweza tukajibenkisha. Kwa hiyo we'll have that next week. Tutajiunga tena hapa. Kwa hiyo tutawatumia email na more information. Ni washukuru sana na niwatakie week njema na weekend njema. Shukrani na kwaherini.
Asante.
Asante sana, asanteni sana.
Okay, kwaherini.
Thank you all. Kwaherini
Asanteni,
sana.
kwaherini.
Thank you.